guys, I'm Steph. Thank you so much for checking out my channel today. It has been forever since I have done a foundation video and I am so sorry, but they are really hard to find the time to film because I like to film myself talking about it, putting it on, my first initial impressions, and then at the end of the day I kind of wrap up. So you kind of need a day where you can wear the foundation for the whole day, you have enough hours to actually test out the wear, and I've just been so busy and had a bunch of things going on that I haven't had the opportunity to actually film it. So finally, I hauled this foundation in my birthday and holiday haul. I'll link that down below if you want to see what else I picked up and received. But I'm going to be trying out the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation infused with peach and sweet fig cream. So this is the packaging it comes in. I'm going to be testing out the shade Snow, which is their fair shade with rosy undertones. And there's only 12 shades in the shade range. I just looked it up and I was so shocked. But I'm going to review this foundation. So like I said, it is a comfort matte foundation. And it is transfer resistant with medium coverage. So just going to read the claims on the Too Faced website. They say this is a transfer resistant medium coverage foundation which creates a smooth canvas for flawless, comfortable matte wear using their exclusive Comfort Matte technology that is never cakey or mask-like. That would be nice. They then go on to say that it is 14-hour wear time, photo-friendly, smooth for a flawless finish, it's oil controlling, it's infused with exclusive Comfort Matte technology, smells like peach and sweet fig cream. So my skin is definitely back to being oily. There was a time period there where it was dry, but as you can see, quite shiny. So not the case anymore. So something that is matte and oil-free, shine-free is definitely what I'm looking for. I love the fact that it's comfortable. So let's just hop into it. So here is the lovely packaging here. You do get 1.6 fluid ounces of product. Usually a standard foundation has 1 fluid ounce, so you are getting a little bit more, which is nice. And yes, it's a squeezy bottle, but it has a pump. So it kind of is like the It Cosmetics CC foundation cream thing in that squeezy tube with a pump. Anyways, I have not primed my face. I have just moisturized. I want to see how this foundation wears on its own without kind of conjoining it with a primer. So my face is moisturized. It feels like a little tacky, so I feel like we're in a good place. So I'm going to use a brush. So I'm going to use a sponge on this side and a brush on this side to see if it applies any differently. So I'm going to pull my hair back and zoom you in. So I was a little concerned about this shade match in the store. When I saw it, thought it might be a tidge on the dark side, but like I said, it's the fairest. So if I wanted to test out this foundation, that is what I had to use. I can definitely smell the peach scent on my face. I was not expecting that. I didn't think it was going to be so strong. To be honest, I haven't really watched any of the reviews out on this foundation, so I don't really have any preconceived notions. I'm sorry, did I just apply something? Where? Well, at least I think the color's good, but I feel like that was such little coverage. I'm going to go in and do a second layer on this side to see if it's buildable, because like, what was that? I don't even know. Okay, layer 2. Okay, there we go. So definitely is buildable. I can see the coverage building up, which is nice, because after that first layer, I was kind of like, what is going on? But yeah, the shade match doesn't seem to be too off, which is quite comforting. I was a little concerned about that. So here we go, this side done, this side not. It is looking quite wet. I guess it hasn't dried down yet because it is definitely not what I would consider matte. Like you can see how reflective my face is. But I really like the look of the skin. I think it looks so beautiful. I have a little bit of acne going on right here, and I feel like it's medium coverage, so I didn't expect it to cover it fully, but I feel like it did a really nice job, and I'm really loving the way my skin's looking. So, sponge is good. Let's see how the brush. So I have a lot more going on this side of my face, so we'll see if it's able to cover that up. I'm kind of just patting it on the skin first with my fingers, and then going to go and blend it out with the brush. And again, like the first layer on the brush side, I feel like you can tell this side has one layer and this side has two. I feel like I still have a lot of redness peeking through. I don't know, not sure if the camera's really picking it up, but in person there's like a lot of redness coming through right here. And I mean, it did cover this not terribly. I like a bit more coverage, so I'm going to try to go in with a second layer with the brush. So the fact that you get more product, but I have to use twice the amount, so it's still going to last me as long as another foundation, or even less because you're not getting quite twice the amount. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to kind of dot it more so on the areas that I want that extra coverage, rather than just everywhere. Almost just dropped a mirror. Guys, this is dangerous stuff. Okay, so I kind of just dotted on those areas where I want some more coverage, and let's see how it builds up. Okay, so here we are. Honestly, I feel like this side looks almost streaky. The foundation is sitting on top of the skin. It looks so much nicer on this side, and I find usually a brush gives more coverage, but right now I feel like the coverage looks almost the same. So I'm actually going to go over this side with the sponge just so everything kind of looks even, because the finish with the sponge is just so beautiful. So I just went over this side with the sponge, and I think it's looking so much better already. The fact that it's looking kind of glowy could be because I'm using a damp sponge, so I'm adding more moisture to the face, so it just needs a moment to dry down, because I did feel like when I used it with the brush it was almost looking matte right away. So I'm just going to give it a few minutes to dry down before I apply the rest of my makeup. But at this point, I do want to say, like, I definitely agree with the fact that it is medium coverage. As for the other claims about being 14-hour wear, matte technology, shine free, all that stuff, I won't be able to tell you till the end of the day, but I'm going to go do the rest of my makeup and I'll be back and let you know how things applied on top of it. Before I go apply the rest of my makeup, I also wanted to say the scent, when I was first applying it, I really noticed it when I had the foundation dotted all over my face, but as soon as I had blended it out and waited a minute or two, the smell really does dissipate. Like, yes, it's there if I think to smell for it, but it's not as fragrant as when I first applied. Also, I have been wearing this foundation for like all of 2 minutes, and already I can see it settling into my smile lines, so we shall see how it goes. Hi guys, so here is the foundation with makeup on top of it. I didn't put a powder on because I want to see again how the foundation performs on its own without the aid of primers, powders, setting sprays, all that type of thing. So I used a cream blush and highlighter, and I found that it was actually, like, the foundation itself is very tacky, and when I put the cream blush on, which I use like all the time, pretty much every day, it's actually the lipstick from Project Pan, but I use it as a cream blush. Anyways, I put it on and I found it so hard to blend out. It literally just like stuck to the apples of my cheeks, and eventually I was able to blend it out, but it took a lot of work, and this is a very easy cream blush to blend out. I have others that are more difficult, and I can't imagine how that would have gone had I applied those. I think the highlighter went out smoothly, but that blush, like, oh, I was scared for a second. And then I put on a powder bronzer, and I felt like I swirled it in the pan, and then I put it here first, and at first it went like so like dark and patchy, and then like it basically took everything off the brush. I was able to buff it in so it doesn't look as harsh now. When I first put it on, I was kind of like, oh shiz, thought it was bad. So that was kind of like the face makeup. It's funny though, because I feel like I look super oily here, like the center of my head, but it actually is like so dry to the touch, and to the point where like my face looks so dry slash almost powdery, to the point where I was like, oh, I need to use a setting spray to, well, like I only use setting sprays really to kind of make the powder go into my skin so it all looks like one. I don't really use it to prolong the wear of my makeup. I don't really, at least the one I'm currently using doesn't really do that. But my face looks so powdery, it's like, oh, I can't forget setting spray because I need to make sure it all like melts into the skin. But I didn't put on a powder, and like I always kind of forget the setting spray because it never looks so obvious that I'm like, oh, I need it. And today it was like, oh, I need it, which is weird because, like I said, I didn't use powder. I feel like I've repeated myself 20,000 times, but you get the point. The overall look I really like. It has mattified a lot, but I would say like my cheeks are still glowy, which is nice. Like they don't look flat. Even my chin has like some shine to it, which is funny because like right under here, it looks so powdery, and like right above my upper lip looks so powdery. So like I don't understand how like some parts look really shiny, some parts look powdery. I'm not sure if like those parts that look shiny are kind of going to get mattified throughout the day. Also, the foundation did not oxidize, which is great. So the shade you put on is the shade you are going to get, or at least it hasn't oxidized yet. I did my makeup like super fast, like 10 minutes, but I think if it was going to oxidize, it would have at least already started by now, and I don't notice the color change. So that is really great. Other than that, I'm going to wear it throughout the day and let you guys know, but so far I do really like it, but I do think that when I test it again in the future, I'm going to powder it because, like I said, like that bronzer went on so weird on top, and definitely going to have to set it because it already looks powdery without powder. So I will see you at the end of the day. Okay, sorry, I am so excited. So it is the end of the day, as in I have been wearing this makeup for 10 hours, and I cannot believe how good it looks. I am so thrilled with it. Like, not only does the foundation look really good, like all my makeup I think looks really good. Like, look at the blush on these cheeks. I'm sorry. Like, blush never really lasts this long throughout the day. And I know I said at the beginning, like, putting the cream blush on was really hard to blend out and it was like sticky, but like look what that tackiness did. There's blush there like 10 hours later. Sorry, there's like a lot of hand gestures. I am just super excited. I'm definitely a hand talker. Anyways, I think everything looks really good. I wouldn't say I look matte, and even though this claims to be a matte foundation, I'm actually super okay with that because I feel like it looks like I have some glow to my skin and it looks healthy, but it doesn't look oily. And usually when I wear foundations, it's like oily by the end of the day. I can like touch my face and it just feels wet. That is not at all like this with this foundation. So even though I don't look super matte, it is definitely more mattifying than like everything else I've been wearing this week. So that is great. But if you are looking for like a super matte finish, I don't think this does that. But again, this claims to be a comfortable matte. And when I think comfortable matte, I think a satin matte. And this is definitely what I would consider a satin matte finish, which I really like. And again, like I don't think the coverage really wore down throughout the day. So not only is it a strong medium coverage, but again, like it lasts. As you can see, it is still there on my skin. So I'm just going to quickly go through some of their other claims and we can see how this stacks up. So it claims to be 14-hour wear. Like I said, I've been wearing this for 10 hours and I still think it's going strong, and I have no reason to believe that in the next 4 hours this would break down. So though I can't say 14-hour wear, I can definitely say yes to 10-hour wear. Oil controlling, again, like I said, I feel like my oil, while you can still see some shine on my cheeks, which I actually really love. I think it gives like this beautiful healthy glow to the skin. And like maybe a little on my chin, a tidge on my forehead, but nothing where it's like, girl, you need to go blot your face. So I would say it is oil controlling. For photo friendliness, I don't know. I didn't test it. I don't do flash photography, so sorry I can't comment on that. Ooh, transfer proof. Like I said with other foundations I use, it comes off. Do I have something? So I'm just going to take this tissue, press it up against my face, and see what comes off. Okay, this came off. That was my lipstick. But as you can see, like there really isn't anything else on that. I did blow my nose today. Obviously it came off when I like full on wiped my nose, but just like patting on my face, I have no reason to believe this isn't transfer proof. Like it doesn't feel wet. Like I said this morning, it looked almost powdery. I do feel like it did eventually meld into the skin and that powdery look didn't stay throughout the day. I don't think it looks cakey at all. But one thing I will say is at the beginning of the day, I said I think it's sinking into my smile lines a little bit when I've been wearing it 10 minutes. And it definitely did. So I keep looking over here. My mirror's here. I'm just like checking for verification that what I'm telling you is true. So it definitely did sink in a bit more. Honestly, most of the time I feel like I'm smiling or talking, so you don't really notice it. But if I was just to like straight face, I do think it looks noticeable. So I will say that if you do struggle with smile lines or you have other lines where foundation tends to set in, I do think that would be an issue with this. So sometimes I like to use a pore filling primer in those areas to kind of make like a barricade to stop the foundation from sinking in. Given that I didn't do like a primer, powder, setting spray, I mean, this makeup looks so much better than what I've been doing for like the past few weeks when I do all those extra steps. So, I mean, I don't want to say it's a favorite, but like, I really, really love it. Highly recommend it. But if you have dry skin, I do not think this is the foundation for you because it definitely is oil controlling. And like I said, when I first put it on, it looked powdery almost on my oily skin. So I can't imagine how heavy it could look on dry skin. But if you have oily skin, I think this is a beautiful foundation. I am so happy that I finally got to test it out. This is the 10th foundation I've tested out in my first impression foundation series. So the next video I post regarding foundation is going to kind of be a roundup of these 10 where I've tested them out different ways, worn them with primers and powders and setting sprays and other types of makeup to see how they kind of, what worked best for them, how I think they've really stacked up now that it's not just a first impression. And I'm going to test this one out a little bit more too, and I'm going to rank all the foundations from favorite to least favorite and kind of just give you my overall thoughts on them now that I've had more time. So make sure that you subscribe and click the little bell icon so you are aware when I post that video if you want to see what I think of all the foundations I've tested. And if you want to know what those other foundations are, I'm going to link the playlist down below so you can see the other 9 first impression foundations I've done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye.